Hello, everyone. Welcome to our weekly live chat. Happy Easter. Happy Passover. If you celebrate, happy holiday to you. I hope that you are well wherever you are. It's live chat time. We usually don't do a live chat on Easter Sunday, but with churches closed and synagogues closed and all of that, even though I don't think there's synagogue in the morning for Passover. But anyway, I digress. With all of the religious community buildings, most of them being closed, I figured a lot of people would be home. And if people aren't home, they can watch on the replay. Or if people don't celebrate, they can watch now or on the replay. But hello. Good morning to you wherever you are. Today, I thought we would talk more about the business side of the beauty industry and what's been happening, what's going on with Ulta. There's some new things. I mean, last week it was Sephora on the chopping block as far as choices they were making, and now Ulta is making choices. But a lot of people made good points about, is it really their fault? Are they they have to do what they have to do to remain a viable company. So I do want to talk about that, and then that probably won't take a whole lot of time. So I figure we'll just do like a Q&A, Poppin topics kind of situation after that, and we'll just hang out. So let's say hello to the people that are here live. In the collective brain of Makeup Awesomeness, people that are here, my live chat's over there. You're probably seeing it over there if you're watching it on the replay. And if you're watching this on the replay, you're participating in the collective brain down in the comments down below. I had somebody, we were talking on Twitter, how they didn't like when people say down below because down is below. It's kind of redundant, isn't it? So, I don't know. She's right. It is redundant. All right. So anyway, good morning to Debbie Green. Good to see you, my friend. Laura Mack is here. Good morning in Canada. Happy Easter to you. Debbie says, I've seen Ulta stop giving a rebate on Rakuten, and now Sephora has reduced their percent. Makes me wonder if the point system will be impacted next. And they've also taken off their affiliate program through reward style. I noticed that with IKEA as well, that someone tried to click on my IKEA reward style that I have at the bottom of all of my videos, and it no longer works. So a lot of people stopping those affiliate programs as well. But you're right. And I don't know about the reward point system. We'll have to see what happens. Mara, good morning to you. S. Jackson is here. Didn't realize Jen had a code for Skin Iceland. That is brand new. I was contacted by people representing Skin Iceland and a bunch of other brands, and they asked if I wanted an affiliate code with them. And I do enjoy Skin Iceland products very much, so I decided to put that in the description box of all of my videos. But the other ones I did not put in because I had no idea who a lot of the brands were. So I did not put any of them because I'm not putting an affiliate code down for a brand that I've never tried. It's just that's not what I do. Anything down there is something that I've tried and enjoy. Let's see. Flory, good morning to you. Good morning to Mander Jack and Consuelo. Debbie says, don't forget to like and share the video. Thank you. That helps me a lot. And Monica and Jess and Diana and Emma and Jennifer and Sarah. Good morning to everybody. And if I did not say good morning to you, good morning to you. Thank you so much for being here. Just a reminder to please keep the emojis to a minimum and all caps to a minimum, please. It just makes it more pleasant for everybody to chill and chat. Yeah. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to set the slow mode, and that way that makes it a little more pleasant as well. We'll just do 40 seconds today, since it's probably going to be a little bit of a slower chat today. All right, so let me go ahead and let me go ahead and put up the article that I found, and this is from MarketWatch. And for those of you that are listening to this, I'm going to go ahead and read it so that you're not missing out on anything, or if you're visually impaired. All right, here we go. It says Ulta Beauty Inc. plus 95%, 0.95%, not 95%, that'd be a lot, announced Wednesday that it intends to furlough its retail workers as of April 19th due to the spread of the thing. After thoughtful consideration, I have to say the thing. I'm not allowed to say that, or else, yeah, when it's a different topic, I'm distracted. After thoughtful consideration, we've made the difficult decision to temporarily furlough many of our store and salon associates, Chief Executive Mary Dillon said in the announcement. Dillon will forego her base salary and has personally donated $500,000 to the Ulta Beauty Associate Relief Program, which will assist employees facing personal hardship from the thing. Ulta continues to offer online sales and is paying its workers in its distribution centers an additional $2 an hour. The company also said it plans to donate 450,000 medical-grade gloves from its salons to hospitals nationwide in coordination with the Federal Emergency Management Agency. So, I mean, it's a tough time, it's a tough time. And, people were slamming Sephora because Sephora had sent out an email to all of its employees saying, we're going to take care of you. It's going to be okay. We're going to keep paying you. And then the next thing they knew, all the part-time help was laid off, along with the seasonal help was laid off. And I think seasonal help, you kind of know that, seasonal help is seasonal. You're not going to have that job for very long. But with part-time, I think people count on that. My mom worked at a grocery store part-time for, since I was a small child. So, I mean, just because you're part-time doesn't mean you haven't worked there a long time, doesn't mean you're not dedicated to the job. Maybe there's just a reason why you can't work full-time. So, and then when it comes to the salon workers, I mean, some of these salon workers, I know the one woman that I got my hair done by when I went to Ulta. I went twice to Ulta to get my hair done, and she had been there for years. And I would imagine that she is currently furloughed, which is horribly sad. It just, and this isn't just affecting the beauty industry. I've had some comments recently about, why are you just talking about the beauty industry? And it's because this is a beauty industry YouTube channel. But I'm not negating or, ignoring the fact this is happening in many industries. It's just this is a beauty channel. So we focus on beauty information. But yeah, I mean, it's just a tough time for everybody, and they have to figure out, looking on their back end where they want to invest their money, and they're choosing to invest their money in online sales, in upping the pay for people that are working in their distribution centers, which makes sense. It makes sense. JP says when you're furloughed, you get to keep your benefits too. That's wonderful. That's fantastic. Oh, okay, here we go. I'm not going to try. I'm just going to call you Scarlett because there's a lot of vowels and it's all stuck together. So hopefully you don't mind me just calling you Scarlett. Ulta employee here. We were furloughed, but we get to keep our health insurance as well as have jobs to come back to without having to reapply or restart our time. And we get the $600 a week. What is the $600 a week? Is that for unemployment? Is that where the $600 comes from as the unemployment? So it sounds like, according to Scarlett, that it's not as drastic as actually being laid off like the Sephora employees, which sounds great. Sandra says, yes, there's no perfectly right way to do this when you don't know how long this is going to last. 100%. And then it's like, okay, so we've got benefit brow bar. If that opens up again, how is that going to work? Is the person getting their brows done going to have to wear a mask? Is the person who's doing the brows going to have to wear a mask? I mean, because you're up in somebody's face. Or are they just not going to have benefit brow bar anymore? Are we not going to have, what's going to happen with the estheticians? When you're all up in somebody's face like that. I mean, because they're up in your face when they're doing your brows. They have to be in order to see what they're doing. Gloria says furlough equals leave of absence without pay, still employed, not fired. Right, but it's without pay. So that was kind of where I was focusing. But I'm glad that we're having everybody clarify exactly what furlough means. Yep. Scarlett says, yes, the new unemployment. Gotcha. So it looks like they are in a much better shape than the part-time employees of Sephora that were completely just laid off. So furlough is good. Gloria says furlough equals taking care of your employees and the business. Awesome. Okay, Christina, I also think Ulta handled it better because they announced it almost 2 weeks in advance. Sephora blindsided employees. That's an excellent point. See, this is why I love the collective brain. You bring so much to the conversation. Philip, a lot of these stores will change operations once this is over. Guarantee we'll see a huge shift in how products are tested, salon services provided, etc. Absolutely. And my husband owning a tattoo studio, they have to get all up in people's faces sometimes too. So, and you can't keep a 6 feet distance when you're tattooing. It's just not possible. So, we'll have to see how things change once all of this has calmed down. Brittany says, I'm an essential worker for a utility. They're forcing everyone to work from home. If you can't, you might be let go. It's even affecting essential workers now. We're not promised our jobs anymore. It's crazy. It's a crazy, crazy time. Yeah, Melanie says, I'm a nail tech and nail instructor in Ohio, and I'm definitely concerned about how things are going. This is a scary time for cosmetology, 100%. Yep, 3 drops of sunshine. Each company has to make their own best choices with their employees. No solutions are perfect, so criticizing Sephora or Ulta is not helpful. I mean, I think that's I don't think criticizing is going to do anything. I mean, when does criticizing actually do anything unless it's a movement, you know? I mean, you know, X person on their couch, complaining into the ether is not going to do anything. I mean, it never really does help anything when it comes down to it. It's more, I think, when we talk about these things, it's more of a conversation. And I definitely wanted to open it up because look at how much information we've gotten just by opening up this conversation rather than just reading the article and not knowing more. We've heard from an Ulta employee. We've heard from a nail tech. We've heard from, a lot of people clarifying about the state of furlough. I mean, that's why we do these conversations. So, oh wait, something else from Scarlett. Okay, hold on. I lost it. Oh man, I lost it. It skipped down. There we go. Oh, we also have access to the Ulta emergency funds with Ulta, as well as no one with us is upset at all. We are actually happy since we actually get a lot more than Ulta could ever pay us. Wow. So you're getting more on unemployment than you would for your actual pay? I've heard that happens. Wow. Gloria says people who are laid off aren't guaranteed their job back. Man, Gloria, you are so helpful. Brandy says, sounds like to get back to work, people will have to be tested to see if they have had it or showing symptoms. I would say that the person coming in would need to wear a mask. Yeah, definitely. Lacey says, yes, Sephora definitely went about it wrong. Casey, discussion on boycotting Sephora. I think whenever we're talking about boycotting anything, I think that it has to do with a personal thing, of whether you personally feel like that's what you feel strongly about, whether it's Sephora, whether it's Kat Von D, whether it's an influencer, whether, whatever. I think it's a personal decision. I'm never a fan of pitchforks and, the herd mentality. I feel like that's so dangerous and so just it gives me the icks. I feel like a lot of those times people start just following a crowd when we do a mass boycott rather than thinking for themselves. I mean, if a lot of people thinking for themselves happen to form a crowd, that's one thing. But if people are just, I heard this and I heard people are boycotting, therefore I am, without really thinking further, then that's when I kind of feel the icks. Ooh. As long as people are thinking for themselves. So the other part of this is that I cannot divulge my source, but brands have stopped being paid by Ulta. Ulta said, yes, we know we owe you money, but we are not paying you it. We can't pay you right now. Which can add up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. And depending on the size of the brand, they may have more things they need to pay for or less things they need to pay for. But this can be detrimental to the brands themselves when there's a bunch of money held up by Ulta that they're not paying the brands. And the brands can't say anything or do anything because if they would fear a risk of being removed from Ulta. Let's say they hire a lawyer and they say, Ulta, you need to pay us the money you owe us. Next thing they know, they're not at Ulta anymore. And the general consensus of everyone is like, oh, they've been removed from Ulta. They must have had low sales or they must not be a good brand anymore if they've been removed from Ulta. So the brands are in a place where they can't really say anything because if they do, then there could be retribution from Ulta. So I did want to mention that's something that I heard is happening, but I don't know how widespread it is. I don't know if it's happening with all brands at Ulta or if it's just some brands. I don't know, but it is happening with at least some brands, but it could be more than that. I don't know. But I think that's just, I get it. I guess that's how they're paying the $2 more an hour for their for the distribution center. I don't know. So, hey, Beauty Boomer, she says, are brands paying influencers on time? That I don't know. I don't do a whole lot of sponsorships, but the ones that I've done, I haven't had any problems with being paid. But I've done now 2 sponsored videos since all of this started. And, no, not even that. Just the one. So, and everything's fine. So, I don't know. I honestly don't know. But they did stop Ulta did stop their affiliate program with reward style and magic links. So if you click on, this happened during the 21 days of beauty. So if you click on that link, if you clicked on my link for my Ulta 21 days of beauty video, I didn't look to see whether anything actually went through, but I was told that it would not go through, which stinks. But I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Alexandra said, everyone is so quick to cancel a brand, but you're hurting employees working for that company more. And I think that's a point that isn't brought up enough, Alexandra. I don't think that's brought up enough that, like people would say this all the time when we talked about Kat Von D being canceled, that it's not just about Kat Von D, it's about all of the employees that work for the brand, and how it affects them as well. So I think we talked about it before when we were talking about, what was it? I don't want to get it wrong, so I don't want to say, because I don't want to get my facts wrong, but I have heard that as a criticism, and that's why I say everybody just needs to make the choice that's best for them as an individual when it comes to boycotting a brand or canceling a brand. That if it's so, okay, I remember what we were talking about. So we were saying that, like, let's say brand, let's call it, I don't know, Beauty Bloom. I don't know. Beauty Bloom is this new brand, right? And you find out that someone that is working the phones is insanely, I don't know, racist. Okay, so you boycott the brand for employing this person who was on the phone who acted in a racist way. And they fire that person, but you're still boycotting them because they employed them. You know what I mean? So it's like, but what about all the other people that worked? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but does it matter if it's like the head of the company? Does it matter if the head of the company isn't doing something, but the person who is the face of the brand does something? Like, what about all the other people? So it gets really tricky. And again, like, I feel like you should do what comes from your heart and what you feel, because of course, racism is never okay. Never, never, never okay. But it's like, how do you draw that line of when to boycott a company? And I think that's always up to the individual person. Oh my gosh, Pretty PR Chick TV is here. Hi, Brandy. She says, drops of sunshine. Who's to say that influencers don't need the money? That's their actual occupation. Oh. Let me see. Let me go back to 3 Drops of Sunshine. Okay, brands should not be paying influencers who do not need the money. Donate that money to a worthy cause. I can say, as my influencer money is the only money that's coming into this house right now, I need the money. Yeah, I think that a lot of times people think that just because someone does YouTube or whatever, maybe 3 Drops of Sunshine was only talking about huge influencers. I don't know. But just because people do YouTube does not mean they make a lot of money. Don't make a lot of money. Our major income comes from my husband, whose business is now closed. So we kind of count on all of that. And if we're selling more things for them, this is my opinion. If I'm selling, if I helped, all these sales come in for Beauty Bloom Cosmetics that I made up, then what I'm getting back is a percentage of those sales. So, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I think a lot of people do think that. A lot of people think that, wait, rewind. A lot of people do think that all influencers make a lot of money, and that's just not true. And if you think about it, like, okay, so you look at the reason, a big place where we make our money, in case you're curious, is from the ads that are on our videos. So it all depends on views, and that's something called CPM, which is the cost per mil or whatever. It's for every 1,000 views. We get a specific dollar amount per 1,000 views, and depending on the size of your channel, you get more dollar amount per 1,000 views. I believe it's because of the size of your channel, but when I had a smaller channel, my CPM was way lower than it is now. Like, talk about like a third of where it is now. And then when my channel was doing even better than it is now, my CPM was higher than it is now. So that's where my knowledge comes from on that. So like, let's say I do a video and I get 20,000 views, then I'm going to make whatever it is, let's say it's a $10 CPM, then I make $200, but YouTube keeps like a third of that. So that's kind of where that is. But if you have a smaller channel, you're going to make less. And if you have a larger channel, you're probably going to make a lot more per 1,000 views. So it really makes a difference if you are a YouTuber that gets under 10,000 views per video, under 50,000 views per video, under 100,000 views per video, under 500,000 views per video. Like, that makes a huge difference as far as how much money somebody makes. So I don't know, like, if that's interesting or helpful at all. But that's the insider info on that. So Sandra says, but even huge YouTubers need the income, from brands as they have employees to pay. Yeah, it's true. Like, if you think about some of the people that have editors, assistants, things like that. So if they don't get paid, then they have to fire their employees. Absolutely. Yeah. Adriana says most workers in America are underpaid. Totally agree. YouTube Premium, I saw. Okay, Carissa, what happens if you pay for YouTube Premium? Do you happen to know what YouTube Premium, from what I've heard, the CPM is higher on YouTube Premium than it is on just regular ads, because they want to encourage people to sign up for YouTube Premium. So we do get a specific section of our analytics that says how many YouTube Premium views we got and how much we earned off of those videos. So Terry says, I wish YouTube was more transparent about where the CPM number comes from exactly. I agree. I've seen small influencers with high CPMs and vice versa. Oh, totally. Yeah, it's super weird. Like, you never know. And the thing is you don't know. So like, I could get 1 CPM on one video and then get double that on that CPM on another video. So I could have a video with double the amount of views and it could make the exact same as one with half the number of views. You don't know where the CPM comes from. Like, you don't know what's going to happen until it comes in. And growing up as a coupon clipper, like, legit, like, get the newspaper just to get the coupons, like not understanding where like money is going, like, even if it's like $5, is like, where did it go? I should, it's very, very, very volatile, but you never know. Brandy says, influencing is my part-time job. I'm blessed enough to have a full-time career, but I want all of my influencer money. I work for it. I need my coins. Absolutely. Absolutely, Brandy. Tato pie. In my opinion, for instance, Walmart is known for crappy customer services because of the work environment. I almost lost it. It's because of the work environment at the company. They allow it to happen. It's the environment that they allow, not all Walmarts. Gotcha. Yeah, Reviewer's Diary Mary says the title is about Ulta, but Sephora did it first. Right, because Ulta is the news that happened this week. Sephora was last week. So that's why the title is about Ulta. Because we're talking about what happened this week. Oh, Carissa says, thanks, Jen. Glad you all still getting your share because I paid for it. Yeah, absolutely. And we do. Terry says, that's insane. How do you budget? You don't. You can't. All you have to do, it's like a Hail Mary every video, because you never know how many views you're going to get and you never know what the CPM is going to be. So you just kind of like throw it out there and hope that people watch, and you hope that your CPM is high enough that it's a decent amount of money. Like, you just never know. It's a weird job. It's a really weird job. And I never intended this to be the only income coming into our house. Like, I never expected that in a million years, because my husband's business is so successful. He does so well. He built it from nothing, and he's, got a fantastic studio, and he's got a great staff over there. It's amazing. And it's super crazy right now, but Karen says it doesn't even seem legal. I don't know if you're talking about the YouTube thing, but yeah, it's weird. It's a super weird thing. But anyway, we were talking about the Ulta thing. I mean, I think that brands are going to have to do what they have to do in order to stay afloat, and it's crazy. It's crazy how, individual people are affected so much. Mikey says, how do live videos work for pay? Same way. Well, yeah, it's the same way. It's based on the views. It also, I need to make sure after the video goes live that I add tags, because that can help raise the CPM. depending on what tags I put underneath. At least that's what I think. That's my theory. We just don't know. And I also need to add in the extra ads to make sure. So I usually put one in every 15 minutes because I figure that's like a good commercial break kind of situation. I really try not to overload with ads. I've seen videos with an ad every 3 to 4 minutes. I would never do that. I try to do 2 ads in the middle of a video at most. If it's under a 20-minute video, I usually only put 1 ad in the middle of a video. But yeah, I just have to go in and add that stuff after the video goes live. Usually live chats, the CPM is much lower than the rest of my content, which is fine because I don't work as hard on these. I mean, this is an hour's worth of work versus days of work. So it makes sense that this would be, that the live chats would be less money. S. Jackson, have you considered Super Chat? I have considered Super Chat. I may turn it on eventually because I know not everyone is affected financially by this. So I have thought about it. I always feel weird with Super Chat because I feel like, as long as I'm doing okay financially, like I feel like, you should keep your money for things for you. And I feel weird because you're not really getting anything. I know it's like a tip kind of situation. Like that's the way it's seen, is it's like a tip for people that you enjoy. But I feel like you're not really getting anything back for it. And that just like selling merch, you're getting something. Selling a collab or something, you're getting something out of it. Like, I don't know, Super Chat, I just always feel weird about it. I know a lot of people do it. And a lot of people, like people with, like Phil Franco had Super Chat on. I saw him get a $300 Super Chat and $200 Super Chats. Like, and I was only there for 5 minutes. Like, it's insane. I mean, he's got employees and stuff, but yeah. So, I mean, it's definitely, a lot. It's not looked down upon anywhere, I don't think, but beauty. And even in beauty, it's not really looked down upon anymore. I feel weird about it. All right, let's take a quick break. And I'll tell you what's on my face today, and then we'll pop topics. Pop the hot topics. All right, on my eyes today, I broke out Anastasia Sultry. Just wanted to do something, something easy. So this is the messiest side of a palette ever. Okay, so I used in my crease Twig and Dystopian, and then I used Cinder on my outer corner and Pearl on my inner corner. Lower lash line is Dystopian and Twig. On my cheeks today, I used the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, kind of contour-ish. And then the Essence Satin Touch Blush. This is in Satin Love. It's number 20. I feel like a sneeze coming on. It's like, ugh. And then for my highlight, I have the Milani Strobe Light in 02. The only thing here that was PR, I believe, is this. I honestly can't remember with the Essence. I'm pretty sure I bought this, though. I know I bought the Physicians Formula. I know I bought the Sultry. Oh, and then lipstick today. This is PR. This is the Sigma Infinity Point, and this is Deja Vu. These are their new lipsticks. They're very nice. They're very comfortable, and they dry down pretty well. Like they're not. See, it doesn't transfer a whole lot, which I like. And they're just very comfortable. There isn't a scent to them. They're very nice. I'm enjoying them very much. So that is what's on my face today. And then we'll pop topics now. See what we end up talking about. It's really up to the people that are here live. So Makeup Mom says we really need to watch smaller YouTubers support people like you that keep it real. I think that yeah, absolutely. And I think, at least from what I've seen from my friends and looking at view counts and things, I'm pretty sure it seems like pretty much everybody's views are down than what we're used to. I think that people are watching more Netflix. They're watching more news content. It just seems to be overall YouTube views are just down in general. People have things that they're doing. They're managing small children. There's a lot going on in people's lives, and they're stressed about things, and they don't necessarily feel like watching YouTube. And I think with beauty content, it's even more down because nobody's really buying. And we talked about this last week. People aren't really buying a lot of beauty products right now. So product-focused reviews and things like that just aren't doing well. I did an empties video earlier this week, and it bombed terribly compared to the rest of my content. So I don't know how much review content I'm going to put up because I do financially need to have videos that do well. And even though I really liked that video, it was a sponsored video, but I didn't, it was a sponsored video from a company that I genuinely enjoy. It was sponsored by Native. And if you watched my deodorant journey, that's the deodorant that I currently use. So, maybe that was part of it, that it was a sponsored video that turned people off. I don't know. But it didn't get the views that I'm used to. So I would say my content, I'm planning on doing less review-based videos. And people really loved the video that I did on Raw Beauty Kristi, where it was, why do people watch Raw Beauty Kristi? If you didn't watch that, it's very heartwarming. I do have a plan for next week to do another one. We are going to be talking about the lovely Miss Jackie Aina next week. I've been researching and watching thousands of Jackie Aina videos from the very beginning, and I'm compiling the information for that. These are going to be, I'm just letting you know, they're going to be very positive focused videos, because it's not why people don't watch a person. It's going to be all about why people watch. So no matter how you feel about the person that I'm talking about, it's going to be about why people watch that particular person. And not everybody has how do I say this with Kristi? So Kristi, like, in general, I would say the vast majority of people that commented on that video, I would say 98% of people that comment on the video absolutely love her. She hasn't been in any huge scandals or anything. She's very lovable. She's a very lovable person. And she just hasn't, been in anything where people have disagreed with a choice that she's made. Where when it comes to Jackie or other people that I might talk about, there are people that disagree with some of the choices that they've made, but we're not going to focus on that for the video. It's going to be why people like the person and kind of a history of their channel. So I'm really excited about it, and I think that it's a fun series. I think it's a good series, and it lifts up women, and it's positive, and it's a fun history too, because not all of us know about the history of some of these YouTube channels, and it's enjoyable for me to research something a little bit different and do a little journalism in a different way. It's a lot of fun. So hopefully you all enjoy it. But yeah, so you'll probably see, I'm going to try to do some kind of makeup related video, and then like a bio video every week. I would love to do that. Hopefully I can keep up with that. Another person that was very highly requested was Kathleen Lights. I would love to do Kathleen Lights. And then who else was really highly requested? Bailey Sarian was very highly requested. Yeah, I'm trying to think, but there were a lot of people, but when you watch those, definitely leave your suggestions down below. Leave your questions underneath the video, or not questions, leave your suggestions underneath the video, so that whoever I see a lot of repeated over and over, that's who I'm going to focus on for the next week. So, yeah, I think I'm really excited about it. I'm really, really excited about it. Jean says, I didn't watch the empties video because there were no brands I recognized in the thumbnail. Also, I'm from South Africa, so it's not your fault. I just don't watch reviews on products I cannot purchase, and that's totally fine. Totally fine. And I hope I didn't come off as I'm guilting people into watching the video. Please don't feel like you have to watch the video. Like if it's not in something you want to watch, don't watch it. I would never like beg anybody to watch my videos. Like, watch what you want to watch. If you don't, my audience will show up for a video that they want to watch. I will tell you, if there's a video people don't want to watch, they don't show up. But if it's a video people want to watch, oh, my audience shows up. So I would never expect you to waste your time or your energy on a video that you have no interest in. Please don't do that. Yeah, another one. Sarah said Sam Ravindall. That was another one. Joanne wants to know who's Bailey. Who's Bailey Sarian? Look her up. You should totally watch her videos. They're amazing. Bailey's amazing. She does true crime. Murder Mystery Makeup Monday is her big thing, and it's super fab. So and Taylor Wynn was another one from previously The Taylor. So yeah, that was another highly requested one. But the two most requested underneath there were Jackie and Kathleen, by far. So Diana says, "Oh Lordy, down below is fine." I know, but what's funny is it's like, I've always been very much a people pleaser, always, and beating that out of me is really difficult. It's really, really difficult. I put up a thing on Twitter, and it was something like, what do you wish that YouTube beauty video creators would continue doing, and what do you wish they would stop doing? And it's funny how many of them contradicted each other. So people would say, I want to see more tutorials. And then next person would be like, stop with the tutorials. And then one person would say, I want to see reviews of the latest products, no matter the price point. And the next person would say, stop with the high-end products, only drugstore, like we're never going to be able to do everything that everybody wants. And I think that sometimes, like from the perspective of somebody watching, it's like people don't realize that there are competing viewpoints with what you want. So like I get critiqued sometimes for doing commentary on things that are happening in the beauty space. But some people really enjoy that content. So if I stopped doing it, then it would upset the people that enjoy my commentary. It would make the people happy that don't enjoy my commentary, but it would make people sad that do enjoy my commentary. And if I keep doing it, it's going to make people upset that don't enjoy it. And it's going to make people happy that do enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? The other thing that I saw a lot in the comments of that is people saying that the studio lighting, turn the studio lighting down. I guarantee, if YouTubers stopped using studio lighting, their views would sink. They would drop so bad because people would say, number one, I can't see what you're doing. And plus it's visually not television quality, which is what people are expecting to see from YouTubers these days, is a television quality. But there were so many people saying, turn down the studio lights, do it in natural light. Guarantee you, views would drop so fast. So fast. So, yeah. Indigo Blue Beauty Jackie would be good. I remember when she was Little Pumpkin Pie. Yeah, Little Pumpkin Pie 05. Yes. I also agree with someone older, mature as well, 100%. Poison's Paradox says Bailey's one of my favorite people on the platform. My 9-year-old has the biggest crush on her. She's gorgeous, isn't she? She's so gorgeous. And she's an amazing person. She really is. I've met her quite a few times and hung out with her, and she's such a sweetheart. She's so genuine. Goddess says, how can Ulta stop paying brands? I don't understand. Because they're Ulta. They could do whatever they want because they're Ulta. And they can just say, I just don't have the money to pay you. What are the brands going to do? Sue them? Especially if it's a brand way smaller than Ulta. Can't do anything, you're going to get yourself kicked out of Ulta if you try to. It's bureaucracy, man. That's the way that it is. Sarah says, just be you yet, Jen. I try. TD McCoy says, Jen has featured women of color many of times, so she's more than happy to do it, I'm sure. I'm not sure why not more women of color. In what way? I'm gonna do Jackie's gonna be my second person on my series. So Mitchie, does everyone think it's not okay to start a YouTube channel without the proper equipment? I don't think that's true. I think that anybody can start a YouTube channel with any kind of equipment. But I think that in order to reach the top tiers of YouTube, for the most part, you have to have a better setup, especially in the beauty space. I remember there was a guy, my husband would know his name. There was a guy who did fitness content, and he had the worst quality camera. I mean, it looked like he was filming on a potato. It was like the worst quality camera, but he had so many views and so many subscribers because he not only put out great content, but he was hilarious. So I feel like in certain ways, some genres people can grow with filming on a potato, but I think that for the most part, in order to get to any level of viewership, you have to have studio quality. That's my opinion. Especially in the beauty space. That Amber Chicks, maybe those people could turn down their screen brightness. And I think that the reason why people want people to turn down the studio lights is because it's not realistic to real life, and it changes. Like if you've seen the Wayne Goss video where he turns off the studio lights and shows how things look without studio lights, I think that's what they're talking about. I mean, I get it. Mary says some YouTubers way overdo the studio lighting, bleaching out everything. True. And a lot of that can be done in post too. So when I put things in my video editing software, one of the things I'm struggling with right now is the color correcting of my camera. So making things the right color and also the right brightness. So a lot of that can be fixed in post as well. Oh, Jenny says, I subscribe to Bailey off your recommendation, but can never bring myself to watch the video. I think it's something about her thumbnails. She's so fabulous. She's so fabulous. If you don't like murder mystery stuff, though, you probably won't like it. Pam typed it out. You did a good job phonetically. Shana sha, shana sha. Okay. Okay, Kate says, I'm more concerned about the actual blurring filters that YouTubers use, especially for foundation reviews. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Because especially if you're looking at a foundation review, it's hard to see what somebody's face looks like. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I know that some cameras have it built in, the setting for like skin smoothing. So they would have to turn that off. I will tell you that I do put a slight blurring filter for what's up in makeup, but that's the only one that I do. If you notice, my skin looks a little bit better for what's in makeup because I have a little bit of a filter on it, but only for what's up in makeup. None of my other content has a filter on it, which you probably know because you can tell in that. But I'm so far away in what's up in makeup, you can't really see. And I'm not advertising the products that I'm using, so... Yeah, Cheryl says, I've watched Jackie Aina for about 6 to 7 years and I love her. Yes. And one thing I'm learning, kind of like Christy about Jackie, is that she really hasn't changed. The only difference you see in Jackie's personality is from her first 5 or 6 videos. She's very timid. She's very okay, and I'm going to tell you how to do this and I'm going to tell you how to do that. And it's kind of the anti-Jackie. And then once you get 7, 8, 9, 10 videos in, you can tell she starts getting comfortable with the camera and her personality starts coming out. But she's been the same person. Overall, she really has been the same person since the very beginning. And I've watched a lot of Jackie Aina content recently. I'm only on 2013, something like that. I'm not very far in. I need to keep going. I have a lot of videos left to go through to chronicle her life. Right now, where I think I might be in 2012, she's living in Kuwait right now is where I'm at with her content as far as going back and doing my little biopic on Jackie. She also says, I already got that part. Let's see. Sue Chen wants to know what video editor I use. I use Final Cut Pro. It's the one that I use. Jen says, I'd like to see more normal office appropriate makeup tutorials, maybe geared to us middle-aged peeps. Totally. And the thing is even before this all happened though, people weren't watching tutorials. Unless there's some kind of entertainment content aspect to it, it's it's I would love to do more of that stuff, but I can guarantee you it'll get a quarter of the attention of my other content. It's crazy. Elena says, you plan on watching all the videos of Jackie? I don't think that's possible. I don't think I have enough time in my entire lifetime to watch all of Jackie's videos. She's been uploading since 2009. No, I cannot watch all of them, but I can tell you I've watched a lot of them so far. I've watched hours of her content so far, and I'm going to continue to watch hours and hours more of her content in order to prepare for this video. So... but will I watch all of them? No, I can't watch all of them. But I'm looking forward to presenting the history of Jackie Aina on YouTube to you. Yeah, Christina says, one thing about Jackie and Christy is that they're so real on things like Instagram stories, hilarious and relatable. Yeah. Yeah, self-care, Sam says, on conference and video chat makeup tutorials would be great. I show up on my video calls looking like a clown because the screens are so tiny and all the people see my bold eyes. Okay, so you need to watch. Angie from Hot and Flashy did one, and then Nicole from Yay or Nay Nicole did one. They both did a fantastic job on their videos on those topics. Yeah, Melissa says, Teresa's Dead and Smoky Glow. Two of my favorite people, absolutely. Miss Francis says, Ulta saying employees' jobs are guaranteed is bothersome. Beauty is employees' lives, and some feel devalued. There's no sense of security they'll get their jobs back. I don't think that anybody knows 100% what's going to happen, but I hope that it's true. I hope that they'll have a job when they go back. I mean, they are going to, when they reopen, they're going to need that much staff. I mean, it's like with my husband's business. When he reopens, he's going to need his rooms filled, and he's filling them with the people that were there before all of this happened. So I don't see why they wouldn't hire the people back, because it's not like they're going to need less workers unless they have to physically close stores. If they have to physically close stores for some reason, then I can kind of see that. But and that would be due to like rent being due and them not being able to pay the rent because they don't have money coming in. Amy says, I'd actually love old school tutorials. They're in depth on the how-tos. You know what's crazy is if you go back to like Jackie's first videos, like her tutorials, like, I'm not even kidding. Her eye is the entire screen. Like this is the screen of the video. Like it's like this on her eyeball. I haven't seen tutorials like that in so long, but that used to be the thing, was zooming in like this. And you can really see. You see real well. Definitely see. Yeah, Kendra says, a lot of people saying I can't stand a person is really mean and toxic. If you don't like someone, don't watch them. But a lot of you just jumped on the hate train. I think that it's up to the individual person who they want to watch. And I like I was saying earlier, as far as, you know, like certain types of content, some people like it, some people don't like it. It's like, I feel like there are so many people that like some of these popular YouTubers. If you don't like them, you shouldn't watch them. You know what I mean? Like, let the people that enjoy them. And the people that don't enjoy them, just don't watch. Like there's some popular YouTubers that I used to watch, and I found that I wasn't a fan of who they present themselves to be. So I stopped watching their content. I don't want to give them a view. I don't want to, you know, watch them. I don't enjoy them. So I don't do that. And I let the people that want to enjoy their content enjoy it. You know, it's all up to the individual, you know, and it doesn't have to be all about why we dislike someone. Just let the person just exist in their own little place. We can avoid them. And actually, there's a button on YouTube that you can click. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh, wait, you know what? I'm not going to do that. But there's a little button. There's like 3 dots on the corner. It would be over here. 3 dots on the corner. You can click if you're suggested a video and it says don't suggest this channel, and they'll essentially disappear from your feed. It's fabulous. I've done that with quite a few people. Not a lot of beauty content, but other content creators I've done that for, where I just don't want to see their content. I'm not interested, you know? Yeah, Jessica says, I think a video on cancel culture and the love to hate mentality would be interesting. And I think that it's, you know, as humans, we want to be a part of something. We like to be part of a group. We like for people to have the same opinions as us. We like to kind of commiserate. We like to know that other people think the same way that we do. And sometimes that centers around positivity and sometimes it centers around negativity. And I think that the negativity tends to suck us in more, and we focus on that negativity. And that all stems from, you know, survival instinct and all of that, where, you know, of course, if you're worried about getting eaten by a bear, that's going to be the thing that's on your mind versus the fact that you have, you know, 3 months worth of jerky to eat. You know, beef jerky to eat. You know what I mean? Like, people focus on the negative because it's part of human survival instinct. So commiserating on something that's very negative is just part of human nature. But is it helpful? Is it productive? Is it kind? No. But it's human. It's human. So Amanda says, can confirm that Ulta associates are only temporarily furloughed and will be put back on Ben's schedule as soon as they open. Rehiring will not be necessary. Yeah. And I think that where the problem's going to be with that, not to keep going back to this, but I think the problem is going to be if they have to close stores because they can't afford rent. And that they just won't have positions for some people if their store closes. That's the only place that I could see where this would be an issue. But I mean, I'm not on the inside of Ulta. I don't know, but that's just, you know, me. Catherine says, exactly. I'm into a lot of more niche content creators, but I won't jump on the hate pile for really popular people. Netflix could use a don't recommend this button. Oh my gosh, I know. And when you keep seeing that same thing and then it's auto playing and it's like, I don't want to see that. Like, I'm not a horror movie person. I can't handle horror movies. I would love to be able to, but I can't. Especially zombies. It's a thing. I can't. So I wish that I could have Netflix not recommend zombie movies to me. That would be super helpful. Also, like when they're really scary, creepy, like, yeah, that'd be nice. Farsight says there's a big difference between voicing dislike and hatred. Throwing the word hate around so carelessly lends to the diminishing of what hatred actually means. Absolutely. And I think, there's a difference between doing something that, like, I think that let me say how to say this, our range of how awful a person is, I think sometimes we jump straight to this is the worst thing ever, when maybe the action doesn't necessarily warrant this is the worst thing ever. Maybe somebody did something that was insensitive, or maybe somebody didn't word something quite right, or where it was something that was kind of cruddy, but it wasn't like they did something really, really, really bad, And I think sometimes even when it's something that's kind of cruddy, people jump straight to the canceling and jump straight to the I'm never watching this person again, even though what they did, if you think about it, really wasn't that disastrous, But then you have everybody's different level of what is disastrous, what is a deal breaker for you. And again, like I said, I think that comes down to the individual person and what you think. But yeah, I totally agree with Farsight about there's a big difference between voicing dislike and hatred. Absolutely. Yeah, Natalie says you can turn off autoplay on Netflix. It's great. I need to do that. Totally. Yeah, Pam says, right. I think we're truly too hard on people as a society. And I think part of it is that there are some people that are really, really good at staying out of drama, at not showing their faults, at not showing where they may not be perfect. Some people are really good at hiding that. And it gives the impression that there are people that are more perfect, So that when somebody isn't as good at that and they make a mistake, they're like, burned at the stake. When really, the only difference between person being burned at the stake and person who is loved by everyone is that person who's loved by everyone is just much better at hiding their faults. I mean, yes, there are people that are just inherently kinder people than others, 100%. But I think we all have things that the general public would disagree with, or not general public, but like, I don't know, how do I want to say this? I think nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. And if we went back in all of our histories, whether you have a platform or not, went back in all of our histories, we've all done things that were cruddy. Like my high school boyfriend, when I was a senior in high school, I treated him like complete crap. And he was the nicest guy. But I didn't have the self-esteem to understand how my actions affected him. And I was horrible to him. And he was literally the nicest person. And I was horrible to him. And I still regret that. I mean, this was in 1996 and I still feel bad about it because it was a terrible thing to do the way I treated him, and if people found out that I did that, you know what I mean? Like everybody's done things in their past that they regret, that they made a mistake, that they maybe weren't kind, but I think we hold influencers to this standard of perfection because they're on a screen. You know what I'm saying? Annika says, Jen, if you had a scandal, what would it be? I don't know. My big mouth gets me in trouble. I sometimes don't think things out before I tweet them on Twitter. And that gets me in trouble because Twitter is not a place to express intellectual ideas because you can never fully express something in a tweet because of the character limit. So it's really hard. And then once you say something, like, people will hold on to that forever, no matter how you try to explain what you meant. Like, people will hold on to it forever. So that's where I've had scandals in that I've said things that didn't quite come out right, or I got in my feelings and lashed out when I shouldn't have. Those are my biggest scandals, or things that I've done on Twitter. Where I just messed up, I didn't say something the way that I truly meant it, or I lashed out when I shouldn't have. Those are my biggest things. Terry says there's no redemption allowed in cancel culture, and it's true. Well, you know what? I don't necessarily believe that 100%, because I feel like, okay, this is what I feel like. Okay, so we have this cycle where we have popular influencer is very popular, everybody loves them, and then something happens, and then we cancel them, and then they start going like this. And then over time, people start forgetting about thing that they did, and they start doing really nice things and good things and things people like. And then they just go right back up because they do things that people like, and people forget about the things, or maybe they didn't know about the thing that got them to drop, and people move on. Or they say, oh, this person has changed. They're not really like that anymore, and they're going to go up now because now they're doing all of these things. So I don't know if it's like there's no redemption, because I do think there can be redemption. I think where there isn't redemption is when someone doesn't move on. So let's say scenario number 2, you have a person who's really popular, and then they do something, and then they sink people. And then they start going like this, but they never stop. They never do anything to bring them back to redemption. They never do anything that makes them go back up. And worse is when they keep bringing up the same thing that they did. And they just keep flatlining, because they need what needs to happen when somebody gets canceled is they need to move on as quickly as possible, because that's what I've seen happen to people. The faster someone can move on and do things that people love and enjoy, the faster that person will rise again. That's just what I've seen as far as the patterns. That's my opinion. Yeah. Amira says, exactly, Jen, cancel culture is temporary and always has been. And I think, like, okay, so for example, like Kat Von D, all right? Kat Von D, really popular, blah, 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 blah. People found out some things about her and she sunk down. But she never did anything to, like, make people be okay with her again. She just stayed in that range of everyone just kept remembering the things that they didn't like. And she never did anything to bring herself back up. And I think that's why she stayed down in people's eyes. Elena says influencers are imperfect too, but I guess the audience expects them to acknowledge and change. Absolutely. But this is the thing about influencers, television personalities, anybody that you don't know personally, is it's easy to present a change when your content is edited, when you're filtering what you're presenting. So you can present a change and not have actually changed. Or you could have changed and not present that, and people won't believe that you've changed because you didn't present it, the change. See what I'm saying? It's all, everything that people in the public eye do is always through a filter. It's never 100% compared to, let's say, your mom or your brother or somebody you work with or whatever. Somebody that you see all the time is much less filtered. But our brains make us feel like we know this person the same as people that are in our real lives, but we don't. So it's just, I feel like as viewers, we just need to know that and recognize it and understand that everything we see is through a filter. And somebody may have just gotten really good at filtering things out. It doesn't necessarily mean that they've changed. They've just gotten really good at filtering things out. Or the opposite. Maybe they have changed. They just haven't shown that side of the change yet. You know what I'm saying? That's just my thought. That's my thoughts. Thinking out loud. Yeah, Elizabeth says, I think it's about the people that apologize and then grow. If people just keep doing the same crappy thing, then that's when I have a problem. Yeah, and I think that there are people that apologize and genuinely grow and genuinely change as a person and learn from their mistakes and be like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be that person. I don't like who I was and I want to be somebody different now. Like I don't like who I was. I realize where I made a mistake and I want to change and I want to be different. And then they show that side. But I'm just saying, I don't think that it's always transparent as far as what it is. We are almost out of time already. I can't even believe it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and then I saw someone earlier, it skipped down, but I saw someone say, that there are certain things that are completely unforgivable and there's never a going back. And I think, again, it is up to that individual person to decide that. So if someone does something that is your deal breaker and they can never be forgiven, no matter how much they've learned, no matter how much they've changed, no matter how much they realize it was wrong, they will never, ever, 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 ever be forgiven for that choice. Then that is up to the individual to make that decision. Especially if it affects them specifically, such as, anti-Semitism, racism, things like that. It is up, if you are affected by that, that is up to you, whether you want to forgive that person, whether you feel like that person's changed, it's up to the individual. But, I, as an optimist, I am an eternal, people might not realize this, but I am an eternal optimist, very much so. I like to believe overall that when someone that people can change if they truly realize that they've done something that they shouldn't have done. I do believe that things can change, but the thing is we just will never know with some people because we don't know them as an individual person. It's through that filter. So again, it has to be your own personal choice. I'm very much against the sheep mentality. I feel like it should be up to that individual person. I'm trying not to mention specific people because I don't want to get into talking. I talked about Kat Von D specifically as an example. I know she's never going to watch this, but I'm trying not to talk about specific people as much as possible. So Marissa says, I think a lot of influencers get burned out too. Viewers have big expectations and are constantly creating content that is better than the last while appealing to the masses is a lot for anyone. 100%. 100%. If you think about how many eyes are on some of these people, I mean, millions and millions of people scrutinizing every single thing that you do. I mean, yeah, they kind of signed up for it. But at the same time, it's like, it's still exhausting. Whether you signed up for it or not, it's still exhausting, So, but anyway. All right, I got to go. Happy Easter. Happy Passover. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go hide some Easter eggs out in my backyard. And we're going to have a little Easter egg hunt with my kiddos. So I hope that you all are doing okay. I hope that my words came out okay in live chat. Please keep in mind, we talked about some sticky topics today. I don't know how it came out. So just know that this is a live stream and it is not editable. Some people think that these kinds of videos, you can edit them. You cannot. They are what they are. You can edit the front end and the back end, but you can't edit the middle. So just so you know, if I said anything that wasn't quite, just know it's live, and, yeah. Okay, last thought. Sincerely, LGS. I think we need to stop putting the bigger YouTubers on a pedestal. They are human after all. We all have done and said crappy things. None of us truly know who they are outside the screen. Air 5. All right, mad love to you all. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you next weekend. Mad love. Bye.